I played the demo for this, and I really liked it. I also had Bootplate with me, so it was like an absolute chaos fest. But during that whole thing, I realized that I really liked the writing and the kind of melancholic mood of the visual novel. I really liked the art and the overall like vibe of it. It was very much giving me like the house in Fata Morgana beginning, when you're just like exploring the mansion, kind of like, we're not really exploring in that game, but I don't want to compare it too much either, because I think it's very much a different story. But I just like the kind of tone. I feel like the melancholic tone and the decrepit house that we're finding secrets about, I think that's the kind of vibe that I'm drawing that connection from. And I'm only comparing it because it's just giving me similar feelings for that bit, and I liked that bit. So let's continue. Or I guess I should say start. And I think the beginning might just be the same, but that's fine. Let's do this again. Okay, click on objects to interact with them, mouse over and press enter. Has your journey been long? But at last, you're here where you belong. It's good to see you again. Oh my god, I'm choking. Start. Lost soul. Wandering through mist and snow. Do you feel the touch of iron cold? I remember really liking the highlighted words. Ghostly eyes. Before you awoke, there was nothing. No warmth or light, no touch nor taste, no sound nor sight. Not Jack Frost. No dreams, no fears, no memories. Only a dark and vast and... oh, as vast and boundless as the sunless sea. You are one soul adrift among the dead that came before you. A droplet in an ocean. But now, you're unsure when you come to consciousness, when the pieces of yourself coalesce and form you again. When darkness became dimness. When silence became the barest rustle of sound. Wind. You are here again in the world of the living, as if you never left. As if, when you closed your eyes for the final time, you were only dreaming. You try to recall what a dream is, what it means to wake from sleep. When you were alive, and sleep was a different being altogether from death. Moments pass. You remain still for some time, letting the sensations of the world around you flood your consciousness. Grounding yourself in the flow of time itself. Time. You once felt its passage with painful clarity. The world of the living is a finite and fragile one, fleeting as frost beneath the morning sun. But now you have the luxury of waiting. Something falls gently around you. Snow. You form the word in your mind, feel its shape within your consciousness. Soft, white, cold. You shiver out of instinct. Something metallic clangs and rattles as you do. But the bite of cold never comes. The roar of the wind, the creaking of iron, the song of a place abandoned by time. If solitude had a sound, would this be its melody? Finally, you decide to examine your surroundings, or rather, your encasings. We're in the knight's armor. You try to move your fingers and something metallic clicks in response. A steel gauntlet follows your command, clinking softly as you twist and turn. But this gauntlet and vambrace are hollow. No flesh is encased beneath them, not even bone. Yet, as you bend your arm, the counter and pauldron move to your command. The rings of an iron hauberk clatter against the empty cuirass of your torso. You know that once, long before the currents of the sunless sea took all memory from you, you had flesh. You lived and breathed. Lived and breathed and fought and killed until you died yourself. Gingerly, you reach for your visor and crack it open, then closed until your vision settles into focus. Ooh. What you see is yourself. Your reflection, rather, in a broken mirror on an old stone wall. An empty helm stares back at you. As you shift and turn, your cuirass and pauldrons shift along with you, clanging in the dimness. Was I a knight? You concentrate, searching for any traces of the past that linger on your soul. You find nothing but flashes of sensation, flickers of emotion. You clench your gauntlets as you feel them wash over you. Fear, rage, regret. The hilt of a sword in your grip. A war cry on your lips. Hunger, cold. You have killed, and you have commanded others to kill. Violence is no stranger to you. Neither is a feeling of cold steel surrounding you. But beyond these sensations, no memories come to you. Not yet. Perhaps in time, you will know what drew your spirit, not only to your armor, but to this place as well. From now on, you turn to rest the rest of your surroundings. Objects will not yield all their secrets upon a single look. Try examining them more than once to reveal more insights. A summary of your discoveries, as well as an inventory and helpful terms, can be found in the Codex. When you have clicked on everything in the room at least once, the frost around the edges of the screen will disappear. Oh yeah, that was something I forgot about. And I got very stuck in certain places because I didn't realize that I could just leave. I hope you can find yourself again. You pick up a book and try to read its faded words. Though your hollow gauntlets struggle to turn the pages, it appears to be an epic romantic novel about a knight. Knightess, rather. Well, I suppose anything is possible in fiction. It's right. And then Boop was like, whoa, are we playing a misogynist? The pages are filled with lengthy paragraphs of purple prose that spend too long describing the main character's musings, the scenery, and the main character's musings about the scenery. Too long, too flowery. You feel safe in assuming this hefty volume did not belong to you. You just don't get it. You just don't get it. There is something different about the descriptions of a book written by a woman. There's something that just immerses you in it, unlike anything else. That's not true. Some books. Okay. That's not true because Colleen Hoover exists. Anyway, Maribel then looked into the shining ocean-like pools of his azure blue eyes. Oh, how blue they were, and blushed deeply, until her fair cheeks were as red as a blooming rose she held in her palm. Quickly, she pinned it to his cuirass, catching a glimpse of herself in its mirror-like surface, and blushed further. If I wasn't a spirit already, I'd die from embarrassment after reading this. You don't get it! You don't get the yearning. If you can ignore the overturned furniture, broken glass, and fallen chandelier, you think this room would have been a comfortable place. It's spacious with a thick rug, wide walls, a hearth for warmth, and arched windows for light. A sola, or a sitting room. You briefly wonder if you would have had the luxury of spending time here as a knight. Likely not. This room clearly has seen better days. Yet the broken windows and overturned furniture tell you this place wasn't merely abandoned. You can only wonder at who might have left it like this. War. A frivolous novel about a female knight. Somebody must have been doing some light reading before they were interrupted. How many years has this place been abandoned? How long have I been dead? You take another look in the mirror, trying to make out more details on your armor. It's a deep black, though the metal's luster has been lost to time. Delicate engravings cover its plates. Spiraling leaves and gilt florals trace its surface like ivy on a wall. The crest carved onto the center of the cuirass resembles a bird. A crow or a raven, you think. It's an intricate piece of craftsmanship. Beautiful, truly. But more importantly, it feels familiar. Comforting. Wearing it makes you feel less like a spirit and more like you. Whoever you were. Plate armor is already expensive, hence only knights can afford to wear full suits into battle. Armor this ornate could only have belonged to someone of great status or renown. That's true, you have to be very rich to be a knight, first of all. But even then, they don't really have like super intricate armor. If I was so important, why wasn't my spirit laid to rest? Great men are given great funerals. Prayers and dirges from sunrise to sundown. 100 flickering candles to guide his spirit across the sunless sea. A grand pyre to burn away mortal regrets. Either I received not even the barest courtesy at my death, or the burden on my soul weighed so greatly, no flame could hope to lift it. Or everyone died and no one could give each other a funeral. That kind of looks like what happened here, like the place got overrun and everyone just died. You examine your reflection again, trying to remember your features. Your armor stands at an impressive height. You were tall then, and you must have been physically fit to don it. What did I look like? Was I rough and imposing, dignified and princely? I like to think I had a friendly face. I think I was really cute, actually. An intimidating face suits me. Would it be vain to wish I was handsome? Just got a really pointy chin. What I look like doesn't matter. I'm dead. I want to be vain. Would it be vain to wish that I was handsome? Knights are the heroes of countless stories for a reason. Yeah, this is a Vienna about waking up as a suit of armor. Hi, Faton! We're playing it for real this time, not just a demo. But this whole thing is like the same thing again. Perhaps you were a slayer of monsters, like in the Tales of the Mist. Or simply wish that were true. Hollow suit of black and steel looks back at you from within the mirror surface. Your armor was once, and still is, beautiful. Though tarnished, not a scratch covers it, like it was never worn into battle. Like it stood here, unused, never to fulfill its purpose. You know that even the most beautiful armor is built to protect. For lords and knights, conveying one's lineage is as important on the battlefield as off it. If you fought for your master, you didn't do so in this suit. Then why was I drawn to it? Why this armor, and not the one that protected me in life? I don't know. Let's look out the window. Broken windows gape like an open jaw, drawing icy breaths of wind into the wide stone room. Shards of glass litter the floor like a revenant's teeth. Buried under soft white mounds of snow. Wasn't revenant important in this? It was like a creature, right? Like not a ghost. A winter storm gathers and grows. You'll have difficulty traversing it should you find a way outside. Well, there's plenty more to explore here yet. You step towards the windows and stand for a while at the threshold. In folklore, a revenant is a spirit or animated corpse that is believed to have been resurrected to haunt the living. Yeah, that's what my understanding of a revenant was, but I think here it's supposed to be some kind of like animal creature. I think there was like a tapestry that had a picture of one, and they refer to it as a revenant. The world outside is a blur of white and dark that stretches as far as you can see. A pale moon shines in a pitch-black sky. A lonely thing, further than you could ever hope to reach. The world of the living is beautiful, as empty as the sunless sea. Let's be optimistic. The softly glowing moon shines on a world silver white. The night is dark, but nothing like the void where you came from. In a lightless sea, darkness loses its meaning. I can't believe you left in the Wikipedia reference 6667. Why? It doesn't mean I like the dark, though. I'm glad it's a full moon tonight. Me too. A cold stone hearth with only ashes remaining. You try to recall memories seated before a roaring fire, shutting your eyes by the warmth of the flames, a book on your lap, or mulled wine in hand. Guys, I'm not a fan of mulled wine. I just have to put that out there. It's very important that you guys know this. You must have done these things, but no recollection comes to you. I haven't felt warm in so very long. As you look at the ashes left in the hearth, you spy what you first think is a stray clump of snow, but it flutters away on a sudden gust of wind. A feather? It's gone long before you can think to reach for it. A cold hearth full of ash. There's nothing to build a fire with. Thankfully, I don't need to keep this body warm. A painting hangs above the hearth, flaked and aged, its ornate frame tarnished with time. It depicts a woman of no less than 20 summers, dressed in a blue gown, her skin porcelain fair, and hair fairer still. Such a pretty art style. A raven, its feathers the same stark hue, perches on her arm. She is beautiful. Not even time can steal this fact from the canvas. Only because she is like me, lifeless and ageless. You stare at the painted face, trying to recall the person it belonged to. If she was a mistress here, I must have served her as a knight. But her name, like yours, escapes you. The barest flicker of familiarity registers as you gaze at the portrait's flaking blue eyes. Perhaps this image isn't true to life. The artist could have painted her younger or fairer than she was in reality. Those who fail to please their patrons have short careers after all. Maybe she was uggo. Maybe that's why I don't recognize her. Or maybe I cared that little for my liege. As much as you'd like to imagine you were a loyal knight, you don't know what kind of master you served. Was she worthy of pledging my life to? The canvas yields no answers. Is it pronounced like hot? Hoth? Not hearth? It's not pronounced hearth? That's ridiculous. That doesn't sound right. Sheets of parchment lie scattered near an ancient wooden table. It's a heart of the house. I only know it because of Hearthstone. That doesn't sound right. I don't want to believe this. Sheets of parchment lie scattered near an ancient wooden table. You carefully pick one up and attempt to read the faded script. My dear Marchioness, my knights and I are most eager to attend the tournament. But my condolences once again for your loss. What a great burden your father has left to a woman as young as yourself. I, of course, would be happy to offer my advice, perhaps in a private setting? Whoa. The letters continue in a similar fashion, mentioning a tournament, the death of the recipient's father, and promises of courtship or counsel. Pfft. This person tried to slide into her DMs after her father dies. Get out of here. The words choke with flattery and veiled condensation. Condescension, not condensation. Each one is addressed to a Marchioness. You assume this must be the woman in the portrait. Though her painted face is nothing but serene, you can only imagine her reading them with a sigh of exasperation. My words drip with condensation. And it kind of fits, doesn't it? It kind of works for some imagery. You are certainly beginning to feel that way. You set the letter aside without caring where it lands. Among one of the letters you spy what appears to be a drawing, a portrait, but the features are obscured. It bears a signature, Rex. Rex meaning king. Oh, Rex means king? Rex Lapis, does that mean King Stone? Stone King? This Marchioness was a noble woman who corresponded with royalty. She must have immense power or wealth, or both. What were they discussing? But frustratingly, you can't make out any other words. Yeah, dripped with like coldness, condensation. Like the commissar. The what? Go right. You're not my brother. Whoa, the voice. Hear the echo of a voice long forgotten. It's funny if you find it out. What are you... Rex the Oops. Rex the Commissar. Warhammer? An English transliteration of the Russian Commissar, which means commissary. The show is called Inspector Rex in English. An Austrian-Italian police procedural television series created by Peter Hadjic. Oh, about a little dog. You wait, but save for the wind, the castle remains silent. If I keep searching, I should remember more. At least you hope so. I can't believe the dog was writing her weird letters. Oh, here it is. The remnants of a tapestry cling to the wall. A knight on horseback charges at a giant thing, tied down by chains. Bolts stick out of its back. The lone rider is flanked by knights of different colors, bearing shields and spears. Revenants? You said this wouldn't be a scary story. What's this? Are you afraid of a simple tale? Revenants. But they're the size of men, not whatever this is supposed to be. No. Tapestries often commemorate great events. Battles, victories. Perhaps the beast here was a metaphorical one. A great nation, an enemy army, a tyrant. Nothing more. Yeah, the way they talk about revenants are as if they're creatures. Remains of the tapestry hang on the wall like a gutted skin. It depicts knights in a battle against something. Fabric is nearly torn into two. A thief would have taken the entire piece, not slashed it to pieces. Whatever the reason for doing this, it was personal. Though a weapon could have damaged it, the jagged marks almost make you imagine claws. Staring at this ghastly thing is making me dream up fairy tales. Ooh, claws. Let's go in here. Candles cover the room in several shapes and sizes. Some are plain, half-melted stubs clinging stubbornly to their prickets, while others are tall and carefully carved with ornaments and flowers. Almost all are engraved with a name. It's a chapel, a place where rites were given and prayers whispered, where all facets of life were celebrated. Births, funerals, weddings. I know this place. I've carved names here. Golden light softly scattered by stained glass. Warm voices, borrowed skills, flowers. For the first time you can remember, the scent of flowers mixes with incense and melted wax. You're not sure what they're called, but they're golden, like her eyes. Gold like the thin band you carry that glints like a ring of sunlight. It slips over her finger as easily as a promise whispered. It weighs like an oath kept. Your family gains another member today, but not all are present to witness it. Your father is not here to see this joy. Your heart is so light, you almost don't notice it. Scent of flower is a memory of warmth. So that makes me think their father isn't there to witness it. Is this our memory, or is this a memory of someone else, like the lady of the house who received those letters and was receiving courtship letters too when her father died? The warmth is gone, leaving your hollow plates colder than before. Or are we the lady of the house? As the tender memory ebbs away, a trace of bitterness takes its place. A woman in a veil. My woman? That vision. You try to remember warmth. You try to conjure the smell of incense and the glow of flickering candles again. But your steel shell remains cold. Yet, somebody significant to you once stood here. Their memory tugs at your soul. You don't know whether from gratitude, affection, or something else. Oh, I love a good stained glass. Moonlight filters softly through a stained glass window. You recognize a scene depicted in colored glass. A scene from the Tales of the Mist. It's the hero Tristram, lantern and sword in hand, preparing to slay the revenant that terrorized his people. The story isn't a happy one. It's a tale of sacrifice and folly. Tristram. Why is that name familiar? Well, the tale was a popular one, and the name was common enough when I was alive. But you can't help but feel there's more to it than that. The stained glass window above you depicts a scene from an old tale, the tale of a king who sacrificed everything in atonement for his reckless folly. Tristram. It aptly means sorrow. Bestowed upon newborn boys in the hopes they'll lead humble lives, or on the unlucky number who survived their births while their mothers did not. Oh, what? That sucks. We're just naming all the boys whose mother dies Tristram? It's a pewter box. Inside you find shards of flint, striking iron, and char cloth. Tools for lighting fire. Let's take them. In a place like this, you can only imagine they will be useful. You take the tools and fit them into a satchel on your belt. An ornate candlestick sits on the altar. The candles resting in it are carved almost as beautifully as the spiraling black iron itself. These candles would have been lit as offerings to the spirits, both to guide them to rest and to ask for guidance in return. As a spirit yourself, you feel it's best to respect your fellows. You leave the altar undisturbed for now. Oh, oops. I did not mean to take a screenshot if I did. Oh, it's so dark. You head to a hearth in the corner where you skillfully strike flint and iron. Then you light each candle standing in the tall candelabra. That's better. Much better. It's a painting of a man with white hair and beard, dressed in fine furs and jewels. There's a clear resemblance between him and the portrait of the woman in the solar. His painted eyes stare down at you in stoic contempt. Ooh. You ungrateful bastard. Who gave you everything you have? Who granted you the honor and privilege of knighthood when you should be rotting in the streets? Stale liquor. Dusty cedar. Is it cedar? Cedar? Parchment and ink. It's a tournament day, but you're not in the spirit for games. You retreated here in a foul mood, unaware that he had shirked his duties and done the same. What more do you want, boy? You know what I want, father. Dust and ale, a memory of conflict. I remember him. This man was my father. The master of the castle was my father, yet his daughter succeeded him, while I became nothing more than a knight. Because we weren't her brother, right? And even that was a privilege he deemed me unworthy of. What did I want from him? What did he refuse to give me? Ooh, I love the phrasing difference. What did I want from him? And why wouldn't he give it to me? Even if it was more than what your vassal deserved, even if I was born in shame, I was still your son, wasn't I? The painted figure of a man stares out from a dusty frame. The previous Marquess and master of the castle, your father. That makes the Marchioness your sister, and you, the bastard son kept to serve the family, never to take its lofty name. Shelves of books and records on what looks like a variety of subjects. You walk over and examine the spines until you spot one that bears the same emblem on your armor. A raven with wings extended like a leaf. But our armor had, a unicorn on it, didn't it? Ancestry of the House of Winter. That must be the family name of the Marchioness. Navigating the pages isn't easy with metal fingers, but you manage, flipping through decades, if not centuries, of names, dates, and facts until you land on the most recent entry. Year 228, on the second day of the second month, a daughter is born to the Marquess Siegmund and Lady Vivian, and given the name Siegelind. Is it Siegelind or Siegelind? 5 days later, Lady Vivian perishes. Year 246. On the seventh day of the second month, Lord Siegmund perishes after many months of illness. So about 20-ish years after. Well, eighteen years after? So on her 18th birthday-ish. Lady Siegelind is named his successor and bestowed the title of Marchioness. Siegelind von Winter, my sister. So you were 18 years old when a father croaked. If the Marchioness and the one in the painting are the same, then the lady I served was barely more than a child. Siegmund. I think it's a G like grand. Sieglind. Like Sieglind. Father. Well, how old were we then? I'm assuming we were born to a different mother, potentially. So it doesn't matter if our father died or not. I mean, if our mother died or not at birth. You flip back through earlier entries. There is no mention of a son. So I was kept around, but my mother and I weren't important enough to be included in the record, even as a footnote. As if they were ashamed I even existed. You close the book with a sinking feeling in your cuirass. An empty glass bottle. As you brush a cobweb off it with your gauntlet, a scent, a memory of a scent, wafts over you. Stale liquor, stinging bitterness, honey to mask it. You almost recoil in distaste. I take it I wasn't one for a strong drink. Oh, let's take the bottle. Could be used to hold something, I suppose. You take the bottle and fix it snugly in your belt. Were you the type to prepare for anything and everything, you wonder? That doesn't feel like you, but you suppose character doesn't always stay constant, even for the dead. A stack of papers sits on the desk. You look through them and find names, figures, and numbers. They're fiscal documents. Little of this looks legible, though. They're stained and faded. On one of the better preserved pages is a roster of knights, listed in order of rank, along with their respective fiefs and incomes. This many knights. What a wealthy master we shared. If conflict were imminent, however, that would make plenty of sense. One knight, whose name you cannot make out, is listed at the bottom. Whoever he was, he had far lower earnings than the rest. And his name? Is my name on this ledger? Could one of these knights be me? You read off the list of legible names to yourself, but none feel like they belong to you. Sir Dethard, Sir Xavier, Sir Robin. Even if I could learn my name here, knowing what my fiefdom earned in a year doesn't seem like a helpful information to me now. Assuming my master had even granted me one. A faded map lies on the desk. It depicts 2 territories at its center, divided by a great river. Leithrazir and Ostara. Those names I recognize. Leithrazir, the kingdom of Silver North and Golden South. Sunsets over endless fields, birch forests turning pale gold with autumn's chill. A white river, Asker, gleaming with ice. Pale crests of waves breaking on the boreal sea. Sky ridge peak, scraping a frost-blue horizon. A place I fought for with tooth and nail. Ostara, the kingdom across the river. Vengeance, snow, blood, smoke, screams. Beyond that, I don't remember. Did we vanquish them, or did they vanquish us? Oops. Oh, let's save. Behind the map, you find a note. My lady, you made the right decision. The lion's den is too dangerous for a young girl like you. You can rely on me to handle the peace talks. I'm glad you understand why sending Sir Tristan would be imprudent. A bastard has no place rubbing shoulders with the lords, no matter how decorated. Huh. I'm sure I need not remind you what they call him. The Prince Slayer's presence could only give the wrong impression at the Peace Summit. Nor do the blood-hungry hounds who side with Heimdall need further encouragement. Please don't worry yourself. Ever your loyal commander, Sir Detherick? Detherick? Or whatever his name was. Prince Slayer. So we were a bastard son, and our mother probably died in childbirth, which is why we're called Tristram, after the knight Tristram, who's like supposed to be really sad. Prince Slayer. A mere knight dares spill royal blood? Small wonder the Sir Tristan would be shunned, even for a veteran. It seems he was no champion of peace, but had he some reason for bloodying his hands? Tristan. You turn the name over in your mind, repeating its rhythm. Tristan. 2 syllables, a backwards heartbeat. Its cadence is familiar, engraved in your memory like the etchings on your armor. He was a bastard, like you. He was an outcast, like you. He was you. In the drawers, you find more corked bottles of alcohol, dusty and undisturbed. You wonder if the Marchioness or her predecessor was fond of drink. The top right drawer is locked and will not open. You can't help but feel that the desk in its current state, spilled alcohol, a mess of papers, doesn't look like it belonged to the Marchioness. Unlike the Sola, this place looks largely untouched. What a mess. The young woman wanted to remember her father. Pitiful thing. Ordinarily, I would say that clinging to the past does one no favors, but Something from your past must have brought you back to this place. You have not spent years protecting the commoners from Astarian invaders. To them, you are a princess locked in a white tower. I'm well aware of my shortcomings. The only reason you stand where you are is because Sir Tristan is loyal to you, but loyalties can change. Did Tristan defect to... Did he defect? And then, because I could have sworn there was something about like what he was wearing that was like the wrong emblem. Because it seems like he's got more power in this situation, that he's loyal to her should not be much to the princess in this situation. Or the Marchioness, not the princess. It should not mean much to the Marchioness. They never really cared about him anyway. So the fact that his loyalty is important in her protection means that maybe he defected and the other side won, and he's keeping her alive. Maybe. Maybe. A pair of doors stand at the end of the hall. They don't budge even when you press the full weight of your armor against them. Locked. The thought occurs to you that, for all your steel suit ways, you yourself are still a spirit. In the tales you've heard of restless souls, some spirits can walk through the world like mist. Why then should a closed door stop me? Try to leave your armor. You're not sure how to leave your armor, however. After a few moments of deliberation, you decide to simply press your gauntlet to the door and will yourself to float. Before you awoke, there was nothing. No warmth or light, no touch nor taste, no sound nor sight. No dreams, no fears, no memories. Only a darkness, vast, boundless, unending, never-ending. You are one soul adrift among the dead, a droplet in an ocean. You are nothing. You are nothing. Let's not do that again. I have no voice and I must scream. Briefly let go of your tether. You find yourself lurching over the door, helm bent, gauntlets gouging into the wood like claws as you settle back into cold, familiar steel. I'm never doing that again. I can't leave my armor, my tether. I can't go back to the sea. I can't become mist again. If I want to go any further, I will have to find that blasted key. Okay, let's go back. Broken glass and piled snow blanket the floor of this hall as well. The shards glint like splintered teeth. You remember tales you've heard before, tales you have told, and tales you have been told. Tales of men who woke from death and grew iron skin and teeth. Iron has always been sacred to spirits, they say. I suppose there is not much difference between the revenants in the tales and me. I once heard someone tell stories about the Sunless Sea, of the spirits who failed to cross its shores and wandered eternally through the lands of the living. But who? And were they ever true? You can't help but feel that you have an answer now. Hey, buddy. A rusted suit of armor donning the faded blue surcoat surveys the hall. It is impressive, but dated, and doesn't hold a candle to the fine craftsmanship of your own armor. Hello? You try to call out, and immediately feel foolish. You don't have a body, so naturally, you have no voice either. What are the chances there's another haunted suit of armor here after all? Let's try again. You tap the suit of armor's visor. No response. No other ghostly knights in this castle, then. This sucks. Proud banners adorn the wall. See, that's a different emblem than what we had on our armor. Each bears a raven with wings unfurled, similar to the one engraved on your armor. This is a symbol of the family I served. Yet you don't feel any sense of pride as you gaze upon them. Almost the opposite. Ooh. Once proud banners displaying the House of Winter's crest. The beautifully woven birds have sunken into a sea of murky, moldy blue. A heavy feeling lingers in your cuirass as you wonder if these banners mirror the fate of the house they reflect. Aha. There it is. It's a storage room filled with a few empty crates and shelves. Dust coats the surface of old wood and moth-eaten fabric, thick as frost untouched by the sun. Thin moon-white cobwebs fill every corner and crevice. Against the far wall, you see a rickety shelf laden with blankets, horseshoes, and other riding equipment. You even spy what looks like a tournament barding bearing a unicorn-shaped crest, likely the personal symbol of whatever the knight in this loyal steed once carried. You've seen this crest before, emblazoned on a blue standard, fluttering in the field. The knight in the library wore it. You wore it. A satchel with the same crest sits atop, on the top shelf. Lucky for you, your armor is tall enough to reach without straining. You wonder if your suit would hold together if you were to fall. Would you be able to put yourself together if your arms were no longer attached to you? You carefully lift the satchel, aged leather crinkling at your metallic touch. Your finger plates graze over the crest. Slowly, you open it. Rather than the equestrian supplies you were expecting, you find an assortment of objects. A broken necklace, torn linen, and numerous letters. Personal, sentimental belongings. A torn piece of embroidered linen. The fabric is very fine. You're afraid to hold it with your gauntlet, lest the metal catch on the threads. It is patterned with flowers, leaves, and vines. Motifs common enough in clothing, but rarely on fabric this delicate. Oh, I recognize this. It's a wedding veil, or at least a remnants of it. All that's left of the sorry thing is a scrap of fabric, burnt and stained on one end. The stitches are uneven and filled with gaps, too tight in some places and too loose in others. The bride who made this was not a skilled seamstress, to put it charitably. Wow! With needlework like this, it's a wonder she married at all! Whatever, nameless knight. Your mind goes back to the woman you saw. Did this belong to my wife? Was I in love with my wife? I would hope so. Needlework is a skill that noble women... Yeah, first they're judging the romance books in the solar. Then they're judging the picture of the lady of the house and being like, was she actually that pretty, or did they just make her look pretty? Like, nameless knight, you need to chill. You're not even a corporeal form. Needlework is a skill that noble women learn from an early age. If my wife made this, it's doubtful she was anyone of status. But I suppose neither was I. If my family would never recognize my worth, it made little difference who I brought to the altar. A faded note, a scroll of handwriting barely visible on a parchment scrap. The ink looks blotted away in places. By water or by tears. You decipher it as best you can. I told you I don't want them back. Take them or throw them away. I don't want to talk. I don't want to see you again. Not after what you've done. Well, that certainly doesn't bode well. What did you do? A note placed alongside objects that must have held deep, painful memories, carefully tucked away. That means the recipient of the note couldn't bear to look at them. The recipient of the note wants to forget them. The memories these objects held must have been too much to bear, but even ruined, broken, they had too much meaning to be carelessly thrown away. Isn't that common in heartbreak? Sometimes even pain can be a precious feeling. True. A simple amber pendant with a broken clasp. It could have belonged to a man or a woman, but given the fine linen it rests on, you find the latter more likely. It twinkles in the dark like a drop of stolen light. The amber pendant is beautiful, but simple, hardly a piece worthy of a noble or anyone of rank. Still, you imagine that someone treasured it, at least for a time. Letters stowed carefully away. Were these sent from you or written for you? You carefully fish out an envelope. To your frustration, they are too faded to read. It looks like they were damaged, or the ink was of poor quality. I wish I could have gotten a name, something, anything. You shouldn't have. Think of it as an early wedding gift. Come on, try it on. I'm a lousy partner if I can't spoil you from time to time, aren't I? That's not true. You are all I could ask for. You deserve it. You deserve so much. Spring. Bright sunlight spills over a bustling town square. The market blooms with colors. Pennants fluttering in the air. What's a pennant? Like butterflies. Stalls strung with dried flowers. People filling the streets. Tunics and skirts of woad and weld blossoming among the cobblestone. You keep your long hair covered, despite the warm day. Silver strands stand out like a blot of ink on a fresh page. But she stands out anyway. Her loose waves flow down her back, burning red in the sunlight. Uncouth, you knew, for a woman her age, but she never cared what others thought of her. You admired that. You were always a little envious of it. Gingerly, she touches a drop of gold around her neck, as if it were the most precious thing in the world, but she stares upward as if the real treasure is held in her eyes. Oh yeah, the pointy flags. Amber pendant, a memory of a treasured gift. Wait, I still don't know your name. A gift for someone you once knew, someone who was close to you, at least for a time. Someone who cared for you, someone who betrayed you. Someone with eyes of gold, but a heart of stone. You deserve so much. And that voice, that familiar voice of someone who wanted to give her the world, but had only the sword on his belt and the armor on his back and little more. A nameless knight, like you. What did I do? Too much is what it seems. It's a wooden rack for holding weapons. A pair of training staves, lean against it forlornly. You sweep your gaze over the room. Not a single sword or spear lies in sight. You let your gauntlet fall to your side, or a scabbard would hang off your belt if you were carrying one. I can't deny it feels safer with a sword. You know what they say about old habits and dying. What looks like a hatch lies on one side of the room. You try to lift it and meet resistance. Your hollow arms clang in unison, and the metallic screeching of the hinges as you strain to open it. It swings open to reveal pitch blackness. I shouldn't have expected anything else, should I? Yet something in the dark pulls at your memory. Twisting corridors, tunnels melting one into the next, a pursuit. Hunters cornering prey. But was I the one chasing, or the one being pursued? All you know is that some piece to the answers you seek lie down here. Right. This is where we like died, I think, or something happened and then the demo ended. Curiosity swallows sense as you descend into the darkness. Your sabatons clang on the steps, echoing into lightless, soulless, unending, dark. I never went in here without a candle. Oh no. Blacker than the sunless sea. Blacker than the place that you were nothing. Okay, maybe, okay. You clamber out and nearly tumble onto the dusty floor. Not this again. No. You're shaking, your hauberk rattling against your hollow cuirass. I can't go further without light. I can't. This is 1,000 times worse than the fear I held when I was alive. Well, that you remember at least. The sun would always rise again, no matter how many nights I could not sleep. There is no sunrise on the sunless sea. You give the hatch door a push, letting it fall closed, and shakily step away. Your answers will have to wait. Until I have light and a way to leave a trail. If the tunnels are as twisting as I remember, I don't fancy becoming lost down there either. Let's go back and grab a candle. Maybe a young girl, but she isn't blind. Can't you see? The North needs someone like you. The North. Ooh. Wait. Take a moment to admire the carvings. They spend so much time carving on wax only for it to melt away. Who had this much time on their hands? Candles are beautiful. Oh, candles are candles, beautifully etched or not. I can take this to light my way through the cellars. You strike the flint until a spark catches, and then light the 3 long candles standing in the candelabra. A soft glow radiates from the tiny flames, now bathed in moonlight. For a moment, they seem to glow blindingly bright. Promise me you will take care of your sister. Promise me you will never fight, that you will love each other. Spare our daughter, please. I beg of you, she has done no wrong. Those voices, I don't recognize them. He must have defected. That must have been the past. But why did that feel less like a memory and more like a dream? You know, I would never strike flint. You toss your helmet and gorget as if you were shaking your head, and then take the candlestick. You can sort out riddles later. Did you not like my gift? It's beautiful, but... You stand in the solar, your arms folded tightly in front of you. Your eyes flit over the suit of polished steel that stands there in solemn silence, a gleaming shadow. You don't know what else to say. It is beautiful. worthy of a prince and worth a prince's ransom, but it's still only a suit of armor. To an ordinary knight, a gift like this would be the honor of a lifetime. But for a hero of the kingdom, a veteran of the Great Ice War, a man who's given and sacrificed so much? How could a single suit of armor ever be enough? I only wanted... What? What did you want? Still need a way to leave a trail to follow back. A powder could work. A powder? Ash. Cold hearth full of ash. Not the ideal trail marker, but I have no better options. You do your best to scoop up the ash from the hearth into a glass bottle. It slips through the cracks in your gauntlet and settles deep into the fine etchings on the lames, turning beautiful black steel grey. You have other things to concern yourself with than being tidy. Finally, once the bottle is filled, you return it to its place on your belt. I hope this works. Not an ideal trail marker, but it will have to do. A shame, no one left a pile of pebbles lying around. Speaking of pebbles, do y'all remember that old point-and-click flash game for Hansel and Gretel, or Gretel and Hansel? Apparently, it's getting like a full remake for the first and second game, and also they're finally making the third game like 12 years later. I never played it because it was too spooky for me, but it's just kind of fun that they're actually getting back to it. They're finally like doing the remake and everything. Especially because the whole game is like watercolored, and now they're making it like using a 3D engine, but like still using their actual like traditional art in it. Very, very cool. Once more, you lift the hatch and stare into the open maw of the cellar staircase. The light from the candles, faintly flickering, outlines staggered steps swallowed by the darkness below. You stare into the blackness, one gauntlet gripped on your candlestick, the other reaffirming that the bottle on your belt sits snug. It is now or never. And so you descend. Step by step, your sabatons clang. Your hauberk rattles against the shell of your cuirass. You grip your candlestick tightly, as if it's shield and weapon both. The tunnels are wider than you remember, wider than the oppressive twisting stone you imagined. There is ample room above your helm and around you, so much that your candlelight barely reaches the walls on either side. Hi, Zero Phoenix! We are playing a spooky game. Well, it's not really spooky, it's more like melancholic. There is no sound but the ringing of steel against steel as you step, step, and step onwards. The shaking of your hauberk, clink-clank, within your hollow cuirass echoes like a heartbeat. Finally, up ahead, you come across a fork in the path. I'm gonna search my memories. What path did you take so many years ago? You were following the lantern light of somebody. Somebody you held onto tightly. Or were they holding on to you? Right. You leave a small pile of ash to mark your turn, then continue into the dark. It is strange how familiar this feels. Not this place, but this darkness. How crushing it is. How alone. Somewhere once, I was freezing. I was hurt. I was trying to build a fire, but my fingers were numb. With every shake of your metal heartbeat, You give silent thanks that you no longer feel the cold. The path continues on and on, stone after stone. Finally, after what could be minutes or hours, you spy another fork in the path. Be quiet unless... I hate you. I wish I didn't have to be here with you. Just shut up and follow me. A young girl cries, a murky swirl of voices, one of them yours. Left. This must have been when they were running away, potentially, from the people that sieged the place. You make another mark with the ash and then continue down your path. Voices whisper at the edges of your mind, a tangle of threads, faded, frayed. You can't make out the words, can't reach through the torn veil of your memories. Half of you wants to scream with the lungs you don't have. The other half wants to turn back and run. Steady. If being down here makes me feel this way, I must be getting closer. You can do nothing but continue, so continue you do. As you walk, the candle you carry seems to flicker, and then burn brighter than before. You grip the candlestick tightly and continue on at a cautious pace. Step after step. Finally, up ahead, another turn comes into view, another fork. This time, there is nothing at all. What? No, wait. You are not my brother. My brother is a hero. A hero who loves me and always protects me. Not a monster like you. I am not a hero. This must have been us going down here then. God damn it. Left is best. You leave more ash to mark your trail, then continue through the tunnels, hoping you picked correctly. How would you say it like that? You walk for what feels like hours. Your every hollow, clanging step reminds you that you are alone. You are alone. Whispers wrap around you like silk, trapping you in their threads. You are alone. You are not alone. Voices linger. Memory coalesces. Theirs, yours. They flicker and burn. They wither and choke. Ash gives way to cold and dark. The waves of sea call. The dead do not belong. You jerk violently as hot wax drips onto your gauntlet, making you flinch, as if your skin were flesh and not steel. You fumble and nearly drop the candlestick. Steady. Are you interested in good quality cheap copper? What? Are you trying to sell me some copper wires? Steady. I'm far from the shores of the sea. I have nothing to fear. I just need to get through this. You continue on more briskly than before, as if to make up lost time. Finally, up ahead, you see something on the ground. A glint in the dark. You doubt your own senses at first. No. Something really is there. Carefully, you approach. Candlelight falls on metal caked in dust and decay. The curve of a cuirass, the threads of a molding surcoat, the white of bone. A corpse lies before you. Spirits. Ooh, is that our corpse or? Keys hang off on a ring on a fallen knight's belt. I'll have to take those before I leave. I need them more than he does. A medallion in the shape of a raven hangs around the knight's gorget. You note how similar it looks to the one worn by the Marchioness and Marquess in their portraits. The mark of a high-ranking, no, the highest rank given to a knight. The corpse of a knight lays against the wall, jaw locked in a soundless cry, sockets staring eternally upwards. He spent his last moments calling out to, cursing whatever or whoever killed him. Take the keys and continue, say a quick prayer, and then take the keys. Light a candle for the poor soul? Sure. It doesn't feel right to leave him like this, but I don't have any candles to spare. Rest in peace! Damn. To make the most of your candlelight, you should continue on without tarrying. You reach for the keys looped on the knight's belt. Oh no. That armor. You dare show yourself here again, traitor? You stumble back as the knight lunges at you. Steel knuckles ram into your visor and tear at your gorget. Your vision flickers wildly with each hit. Instinctively, you swing the iron candlestick with all the force you can. Metal screams against bone, sending tremors through your vambrace as it connects with the knight's exposed skull. Candlelight sputters, gasps, bone crunches and splinters. The knight flinches. He, like you, remembers a body that once knew pain. That single second gives you the chance to break free and run. He is stronger than you, heavier than you. Bones have weight. Spirits do not. That means you're quicker. You turn on your heels and run. By the time the other knight reorients himself, you are several paces down the hall, clanging madly as you sprint as fast as a suit of armor can. His voice cuts through your helm like a jagged blade. You think you can run? You think you can scurry about this place like the rat that you are? As long as I remain Tristan Greywall, I won't let you sully this place with your filthy presence. You dash through the halls with him in pursuit. He's behind every corner you turn. His steps follow yours like an echo. The cacophony of your hollow armor and his fills the empty halls. The percussive ringing of steel on bone with every step engulfs you. You don't look behind you. You weave through corners and pathways. You are moving too fast to make sense of your surroundings. You don't know where you're going. You don't know if you're lost. Spirits, of course you're lost. No, the only thing that matters is getting away. Eventually, the clatter of bones against steel grows fainter and fainter and fainter, until only the scrape and clang of your plates remain. You are alone again. Alone and lost. Well, so much for the ashes on the ground. Alone in the dark. Your grip is still on the candlestick. 2 of the flames have gone out in your mad dash. It's a miracle the third hasn't. The faint light barely clings to its wick for dear life. Examining the candle closely for the first time, you notice a name carved into the scroll work, half buried in melted wax. Vivian. That's our sister's mother, right? Ugh, I don't have time for this. I need to get out of here before that night, that commander, finds me again. 5,000 years ago, a man from Mesopotamia wrote a complaint on a stone because a man named Ea Nasir cheated him with the quality of coppery salt. It's currently at the British Museum. That is very funny. I love looking at like little letters and stuff that people from ancient Egypt and other ancient civilizations just like have. Like, the guy that was talking about like 500 chickens and stuff in one of the recipe books. You cast your wavering candle over the stone walls and floors, but it's impossible to tell whether this hall is the same as the one you walked through before. You slump your pauldrons, pick a direction at random, then walk briskly, scanning the floors for marks of ash. You keep alert for any sound that isn't your hauberk against your cuirass or the lurching of your greaves. Luckily, you don't have to wander for long. As the path curves into a fork, you spy a small, familiar, blessed pile of grey ash at the mouth of a long tunnel. You move down it hurriedly. Faint moonlight from the castle above filters into the end of the long tunnel. You sprint towards it until you can clamber up the narrow staircase, scraping your greaves along the steps, and then burst into the dim light of the abandoned storage room. You slam the hatch shut with a violent thud, then push every chest and crate lying in the room on top of it. Finally, you slump onto your paulines with a creaking sigh of steel as the tension leaves your pauldrons. The relief does not last for long. Well, what now? I'm trapped here in this empty suit of armor in an empty castle with an angry skeletal knight that wants to dismantle me. I haven't any hope of getting that blasted key from him. I can't escape and I don't know why I'm here. We never got the key? I'm stuck here forever. Damn it. Only one thing seems clear now. I was Tristan, and I betrayed my family, my fellow knights, and my house. What did I do? Oh, who gives a bloody damn? Finding out what or why I did what I did doesn't change the fact that it happened, nor the fact that it's damned me to eternity as either a rusted suit of armor or a drop in the sunless sea. You slam your gauntlet onto the shelf in front of you in frustration, causing the rickety wood to teeter. The satchel on the top shelf tumbles and lands beside you with a thud, spilling its contents onto the floor. One of the letters lands dangerously close to the stub, still burning in your candlestick. You instinctively reach for it before it catches flame. You pause. The ink is not all faded on this one. In the corner of the page is in neat, careful, and familiar handwriting are 3 words and a name. I love you, Tristan. Did I do whatever I did for you? A woman whose face and name I don't even remember? Looks like I was a lousy partner after all. A lousy husband, a lousy brother, a worthless knight, and now a good-for-nothing ghost. Tristan, it's okay. And yet, you clutch the letter so tightly, your gauntlet leaves creases in the page. You silently gather the remainder of the letters and objects into the satchel and replace it on the top shelf. Tristan, why can't you see for once in your life? You are not my brother. My brother is a hero. None of you will let me give up, will you? No. I can't blame you for what I did. I made my choices, whatever they were, and it all led to this. I'm the one who's here. I need to atone for it. I won't give up yet. Ugh. But what can I do? I need those keys, somehow, but I can't hope to fight the commander. You slump your helmet forward in defeat when your gaze lands on the dripping candle before you. Vivian's candle. Wait. Do I need to fight the commander at all? If his spirit was trapped here, like mine, could there be a way to release him? You think of the dozens of beautiful candles in the chapel, carved with ornate patterns, flowers, and names. There is a reason candles are lit for the departed, for spirits like us. I wasn't able to before, but... Aha! We have to find his candle. You stop and replace the melted stubs on your candlestick with new ones. Ooh, that's really cool! Do you hear there's like this kind of chanting in the song? You'll need them when you return to the cellars. Then you reach for a plain candle sitting in a lonely pricket. I need something to carve the candle with, but before that, I have to find the commander's name. Okay. Fiscal documents with names. The commanders would have the highest ranked among the knights. His name must be here. You pour through the sheaves of aged parchment until you find the page that you skimmed through earlier. A ledger with a list of fiefs and the knights who managed them. Many of the names are too faded to read, but one stands out at the top of the page. It's a Dethard Dressler, commander of the Winter Knights. Dethard. Dethard. I do remember that name. I knew him as a child. No memories of your senior night? You truly didn't care for authority, did you? Ooh. And then we need something to carve it with, which... maybe the gloss? Nope, not there. Hi, Stanley! We are playing an adventure game, as you can see. I doubt I'm gonna find a set of wax carving tools lying around. A piece of glass should work just as well. You've never carved a candle with broken glass before, but at least you won't have to worry about cutting your fingers. You pick up a large shard and tuck it in your satchel. It's time to let the commander rest. You carve the name. Oh, I have to actually type it? Dethard, I think. You take the piece of glass you gathered and carve the letters into wax with its sharp edge. Dethard. As soon as you bring the flame of your burning candlestick to the unlit wick, a familiar bright light nearly blinds you. Commander. You have no right to give orders to me, traitor. Sigmund, forgive me, but I must send your ungrateful child to the grave with you. If you think I'm the same boy whose face you once carved open, you're mistaken. An eye for a life, memory of reprisal. The one who killed a commander must have been me. Little wonder he called me a traitor. I don't know if a candle carved by your killer will bring you any peace, but may you find your way across the sunless sea to Dethard. You don't have to protect this place any longer. So we've now freed Dietrich. Dietrich? Forgotten his name already. Dethard? And so he hopefully should not be haunting me anymore. Let's go. I should bring another trail marker with me, just to be safe. Okay, let's get some more ash. Better take more ash with me. You take a moment to refill the empty bottle on your belt with more ash. You hope you won't have to navigate the labyrinth of the tunnels again, but it would be foolish not to be prepared. Is there more stuff in this room? In the corners of your memory, a lone candle flickers by a windowsill. Flames coil in a hearth. Long shadows writhe. See, I said hearth this time. Are y'all happy? Are y'all satisfied now? Oh, our name says Tristan now. I used to spend time reading in front of the fire before I slept. Sleep meant a new day would come. On some nights, that thought was a blessing. On others, the furthest thing from it. You look older in the painting. I had the artist paint it that way. Art is meant to present an ideal version of the world, is it not? I remember a girl dressed in her finest for a great tournament. The tournament. I was nervous that day. I'd been planning something for a long time. Don't leave me behind, Maribel begged, tears flooding her mournful eyes like a river overflowing with rain. You're all I have. Her beloved's own ocean blue eyes stared deeply into hers, his icy blue pools deeper than the deep sea's roiling blue depths. Duty calls, my dearest, he sighed, but I will always return to you. If not in life, then in ashes. If not ashes, then as a spirit. No, I will always walk beside you. Is this supposed to be romantic? You don't get it, Tristan. Silver hair, an ugly scar across your eye, marring whatever noble features you might have had. The rest of your features, whatever they look like, are still a blur to you. The only face that looks back at you now is a hollow helm. This armor was a gift in the same way a collar is to a hound. It made me a symbol, the ideal image of a knight, a hero. But it wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't who I was. But now, here you are, forced to wear it after all. All these men wanting to seize my sister's title, or use her like a puppet. Was I any different from them? Well, hopefully you weren't trying to, seize her title in that way, you know? With our father dead, my sister would have no one to lean on. As she was unmarried, without any heirs. The opportunity to change one's fortune, nay, his entire life. You'd like to believe you were above such temptations, but the past does not care for what you like to be true. You step through the room and peer through the broken windows again. The wind still roars beyond the castle walls. Snowflakes whirl within the moonlight. The storm rages yet. I see the winters here are as cruel as ever. Winter. A fitting name for the house I was once made to serve. Still more to look at. You examine the fallen chandelier, but only briefly. These candles are practically stubs. Not enough room to carve names into them, nor will they provide light for long. That's interesting. I like that that's why they give you that little sign that you can go and look at things again. I could hear the commander's voice back in the cellars. It seems like some spirits can speak after all. Not hollow suits like us, though, eh? What am I doing, pretending you're a knight? A raven in the shape of a leaf. A crescent moon resting in the boughs of a sycamore tree. To think that after everything you've done, you wear your house's symbol still. There's no doubt she was significant to me. With the affection I supposedly had, why can't I remember those feelings? The time we spent together, the life we shared. Does that mean my own words were a lie? Or was my wife simply an excuse to justify what I did? A weapon isn't going to help me now. It is time to return to the cellars. Let us hope Sir Dethard will be more agreeable this time. You set down your candlestick and push the pile of crates off the hatch, one by one, until the entrance is free once more. When you lift the rusted door, a familiar darkness greets you. Here we go again. For the third time this night, you descend down the stairs. Step by step. The same wide walls and hollow halls swallow your faint candlelight. The same echo of empty footfalls clang. As you walk, you suddenly realize you have no idea where the commander is. After your desperate flight, you have no recollection of what path you took, nor where the other knights lost sight of you. I could end up looking through this entire labyrinth just to find him. And what happens if I do? What if he still wants to rip me apart? It turns out, you don't have to look for long. As you round a bend, you see a familiar shape slumped on the floor several paces ahead of you. Your candle outlines a flicker of steel, a shimmering of mail. A pale shape with black, empty sockets, staring out at you. You approach very, very slowly. 10 paces away, and there is no movement from the figure. 5 paces. 4. Still, it does not stir. 3 paces. 2. 1. What in the world? Half the figure slumped before you was the commander, his tattered surcoat and once burnished armor engulfing bone. The other half, from his cuirass down, is gone. What happened to him after I left? Were his remains so decayed they fell apart during the chase? Is that why he let me get away? Or was it the Revenant? What looks like a great gash is torn into the bottom of his cuirass, revealing the battered ribs jutting through mail. You decide, then, not to spend another moment more where you are. The keys are, mercifully, still looped around the knight's belt. You hastily untie them and shove them into your satchel. You hurry back the way you came, hauberk beating against your cuirass with every step. The first thing you do upon returning above ground is slam the hatch door shut with enough force it rattles in its frame. It's like a less spooky version of the Coraline bit where she has to go back to retrieve like her parents' souls. Cause like, oh, you just escaped it. Oh, I have to go back? What do you mean I have to go back? They're braver than me. You're out of the dark now, yet you're still shaking like a child. You feel it now, don't you? There is a weight that lingers in your every link and chain, every rivet and plate that your spirit struggles to contain. That has only grown with every step you've taken. The void of your memories that paradoxically sits heavy. the blade of truth that hangs above you like Damocles. You have searched and strained all this time to remember. But now you're not sure if that's what you truly wish for any longer. It is. I will see this through. I can't deny it. I'm afraid of what I'll find. I know I won't like it. I know that what I've done must be something unspeakable. But my only other option is to wait here for eternity to pass. Between the two, what choice do I have? Brother. Tristan. Are you still here? Are you alive still? Or beyond the sunless sea? Wait for me, please. I will keep going. Indeed, you must. And so, the path before you awaits. I think they're all long dead, Tristan. I feel like this is like centuries after whatever happened. You fit the heavy key into the lock and firmly twist it. The hinges shriek as the doors swing open. The way forward is now open to you, should you wish to take it. You step forward through the doorway. Nothing changes the moment your Sabaton moves from one hall to the next. Nothing tangible. But you feel as if something has. Something settles in the air around you that a second ago was not there. You take another cautious step forward, and then another. Ooh. Until you see blood across the floor and walls. Long, long dried, caked between cracks in the stone. Moonlight trickles from an arched doorway, thin as flayed skin, pale as bone. You don't need it described for you in any more detail, do you? Alright, Sass. There are far more pressing things to examine first. Oh, right, okay. Who are you? A knight sits slumped against the wall, unmoving, his armor caked in dark and rust. His armor is similar to yours, embellished with a bloodied raven on its cuirass, but missing any floridity. Its plates are engraved in scars and scratches, not flowers and scrollwork. Its cape hangs around him like a shroud. Spirits. If I recognized who this was, I might light a candle for him, but... Paintings line the narrow hall, their decrepit frames clinging to the walls. Dark stains cover the canvases so deeply it looks as if a mad artist had painted stroke after stroke in blood. Death had dipped its brush and soaken its palette to present the scene before you. You find yourself drawn to the portrait on your left. It's our sister. It appears to be a painting of a woman. Though the canvas is so soiled, it's impossible to make out her features. An inscription beneath the frame reads, "Oh, it's our mother! Vivian, beloved mother, may your love and mirth grace the shores beyond the lightless sea." My sister's mother. You feel as if you should have some recollection of her, but you remember nothing. Well, we would have been like a baby around then, right? The room beyond the bloodied halls beckons. You step towards the pooled moonlight. The feeling in the air thickens, seeping into your plates, flooding you like grave water. You trudge ahead, your greaves and cuisses weighed down with every plodding step. You wade closer and closer towards the shore. And on that shore is death. The heart of a castle is the great hall. And here, that once vibrant heart ceased beating. Revelers at the remnants of a feast, lords and ladies, servants, knights, their corpses lie at your feet. And all around you now is a torrent of memory, awash in red. Screams pierce your helm. Searing slashes score through your pauldrons and cuirass, burning what remains of you. Your armor cannot protect you from the agony of the souls that linger, from the memory that remains here, seeped into every stone and pane and pillar, far deeper than the blood that coats them. Your greaves and cuisses threaten to buckle as the burning sensation of blades cuts through you. You grip the edge of a table for balance. The skeleton of a noble lies prostrate against it, the fine furs of his coat rotted, his skull missing from his spine. You spy it a second later, staring at you with vacant sockets from the fine bowl resting by your gauntlet. You jerk back. Your finger plates have left claw marks in the wood. You look down at your gauntlet and see red flickers over the lames. You lurch past the man's body. You keep wading, pushing forward through the deluge of screams and howling and pain. What are you still searching for? A body, an answer, a reason for this madness. Tristan. Sir Tristan, have you gone mad? Sheath your weapon at once. A young woman stands among her court. It is a day of revelry and games, and her most esteemed guest has yet to arrive. A commotion at the doors. Figures march inside in twin rows, dressed in burnished armor, weapons gleaming at their sides. The knight with hair as silver as her own breaks through the ranks and swiftly approaches. And then he draws his sword. Chaos, bloodshed, betrayal. And at the center of it, you. Did we kill our sister? Do you have your answer now? I did this. No, it wasn't me. This can't be me. Why is that one faded away? Oh, I can't click that. I did this. I loved my wife. I wanted to give her a better life. I wanted what was rightfully mine. I must have been manipulated. This isn't my fault. It can't be. The lover, blame your folly on love. The commander was right. I was a traitor. I was Sir Tristan. I was a nameless knight, a bastard with no birthright. But though I don't remember her name, I know I loved my wife. I wanted to give us a better life. I wanted it so badly I was willing to betray my own flesh and blood, to betray the ideals I upheld as a knight. But I'd already risked my life time and time again, earning nothing but scars. What was more bloodshed when I'd already stained my hands on the orders of men with more power than me? Men who played with the lives of their knights like they were nothing but pawns on a board. I wouldn't let myself, or her, be treated like that again. But I didn't want this. How did my betrayal lead to this? How did I let this happen? I don't think he was just a snitch. I think he fully went and killed people. I think he went beyond just snitching. You stare down at your hollow gauntlets. And now, this is the price I pay in death. a spirit forced to walk the site of his crimes, forever, without respite. A dead man trapped in a suit of iron, a villain in the guise of a knight. And so, this is where your story ends. Accept your fate, accept your cage, refuse, leave your armor, return to the sea, let me forget, let me go back to not knowing a damn thing. What? Oh my god. If this is my fate, then so be it. Nothing I do now will erase my crimes. All I can do is atone. A sudden flash of pain sears through your cuirass, courses through the links of your hauberk, tearing at the weave of your soul. Ugh. Being trapped on this earth may be my punishment, but it doesn't mean I have to spend eternity in this room. You barrel towards the imposing pair of doors at the end of the banquet hall, slamming into them with your pauldrons. The force sends a jolt through your plate from helm to sabaton. You grasp onto the oaken slabs and quickly try to shove them open before your strength leaves you. No matter how much you strain, they won't move an inch. Locked too? Damn it, let me go. Let me... A burning series of cuts pierces your gorget and cuirass. Your hauberk rattles violently as your plates groan and clang in a metallic scream. You stagger and fall onto your greaves with a violent, hollow clatter. I know I deserve this. I know that. But I can't spend eternity like this. I can't even last another... Another stab pierces your helmet, shaking your visor and making your vision dance around its slits. You grip the top of your helm and bury your head in your gauntlets, quivering. I can't bear this. You curl onto the side of your cuirass on the cold, blood-stained floor. You try to ignore your surroundings. The stone below you, the moonlight that touches every ruined, filthy, forgotten surface. The soundless screams that burn and cut into you like blades of flame. You search inside yourself for a memory deeper and older than anything you were ever conscious of. Not when you were alive, not when you breathed, not when you were. Before that and after, when you were nothing. The sea. Take me back, please. I thought we didn't want to go back to the sea. Feel. You sink deeper into your armor, searching through chain and rivet and plate for the threads that remain of you. The feelings that washed over you when you first settled into it remain. Flashes of sensation, flickers of emotion. Memories of war and hunger and cold. The grip of your gauntlet around the bloodied hilt of a sword. These glimpses called to you when you first awoke, but now they bind you. So slowly, you unravel yourself. You let threads fray. You let memories drift. You let your tether go. See. The scene around you grows distant. Darkness falls around you, as if some force outside now extinguishes the moon and stars, one by one. Your vision withdraws into your visor, until it too merges into blackness, and then into nothing at all. Listen. You let go of the strands of you, like a tapestry unweaving itself. You let your memories emerge around you, becoming one with many. Yours and not yours. All and none. A single thread in a rippling fabric. A single drop in the roiling sea. But sound lingers longer than sight. A voice, quivering, reaches towards you. Tristan. And then, while the last thread of you is still intact, you... Oh, I can hear the humming again. Listen to the voice. You're not my brother. The words snap you back to the living world with the force of a breaking wave. The shock of being thrown into a freezing pool. You fall back into the weight of your armor in mere moments, before you collapse onto the floor in a heap of metal, black and cold. Sieglind. If you're dead too, then I beg of you, leave me be. Leave me here to rot. Go beyond the sunless sea. Spend your eternity in a place I'll never deserve to reach. My brother is... Let me drown. Let me go. I'm dead now. I'm a ghost. Not a hero or a knight or even a man any longer. My brother is a hero who loves me and always protects me. He would never hurt me or betray me like this. I'm not a hero, Lynn. But I swear, as long as I'm alive, I will protect you. So we didn't kill her. Okay, I'm gonna drink some water. In another time and place. Castle Winter, Leaf. Year 298, Winter. Grandmother, I brought you some warm milk. You are my heir, Tristram, not a servant. Tristram? This is different. Will you wait until I cross the sunless sea before you act like it? Wait, I feel like I remember this from the end of the demo. Tristram is a crazy name. Tristram is our main character's name, or the knight's name, but it's supposed to be based on a famous knight story called Tristram, who was, it's supposed to signify like a sad upbringing. So you name your child that if you want them to be humbled, or if their mother dies in childbirth, and again, you want them to be humbled. Tristram is definitely a name I've heard multiple times, though, like in stories and old-timey names and stuff. Tristram, though, is kind of funny. You almost feel a pang of remorse as you hear the door close behind him with a quiet thud. Old age is making you sentimental. The regrets you thought you tossed aside weigh like piled stones. The boy is almost 30, and on the surface, an ideal successor. Yeah, like Bartholomew? Level-headed, poised. A seasoned warrior, a skilled diplomat, like you trained him to be. But his heart is fragile and weak, just like... You sigh and turn towards the painting on the wall. Like him. His portrait has hung on that wall for decades. It was painted from your memories and descriptions. The artist spared no detail, but captured his likeness with a melancholy so true to life it stung you. far from the heroic figure you wanted him remembered as. You dismissed the artist from your court in disgrace and hung the portrait in the privacy of your chambers, safe from the eyes of the world. And so he has kept watch over you, decade after decade, reminding you of your failures. That's Tristram! 'Cause he had the cut above his eye. You find yourself speaking to the dead more than the living these days. You dream of the things you'll ask him and explain to him, beg of him, demand from him. Until we meet again, beyond the sunless sea, dear brother. Oh, so she did live! She didn't die that day. You turn away from the painting to stare at the snow that drifts outside your window. It falls in ghost white flakes against an empty sky. A half-devoured moon lingers in the gloom. You sit there, watching that world of light and dark for a long while. Until you drift into the void of your dreams. I want a necklace too. You shout the words, though it isn't true. You have pretty necklaces back home in the castle, strung with pearls and sapphires as blue as the sky, stowed among the jewels and clothes your mother left you. You're not jealous of the lumpy yellow stone around her neck at all. But brother is my knight. He should treat me like the most special person in the world. There's still plenty to look at, Lynn. Why don't we see everything first? But why does she get a present? Sieglind, please. It's not fair. I want it, and I want it now. Lind? She replies before your brother can respond, kneeling down next to you. Oh, we are a little baby. Tristan brought you all the way here for the festival. Isn't there something you should say to him instead of demanding gifts? I can be so petulant, trust me. I'll say thank you. Thank you. Brother. You mumble the words as you stare at your boots. You've learned that your brother gives her whatever she wants, so it's better to get her to like you. After all, she's no stranger to you. She isn't your sister yet, but she will be soon. Sister. You're not sure you'll ever get used to the word. Come on, Lynn, your brother says, gently, a little guiltily. There's lots to see today that you'll like. Look, a play is starting. Oh my gosh! You can't help but perk up. You hardly ever see plays at the castle. Gather round, one and all, for the tale of Tristram, Slayer of the Iron Beast, a booming voice shouts from a makeshift stage. The two knights share a relieved look, and then gaze down expectantly at you. You take his hand, you take her hand, you reach for both their hands. Wait, did they just say knights? The two knights share a relieved look. Oh, they're both knights! Let's reach for both our hands. Your brother takes your right hand while she takes your left. You hold on to them both tightly as you walk towards the stage. Something cold lands on your eyelid. A flake of snow. Snow? But it's so warm today. A shock of cold shoots up your hand as if you've put on a glove of ice. You yelp and jerk away, but your brother's gauntlet grips you like a manacle. You look up into his helmet as blood oozes from his visor in thick black rivulets. Oh. That's not nice. Ooh. Good night, Stanley. The drops burn when they land on your face. Lynn, it's time to wake up. Faint sunlight falls on your cheek as you shake off the remains of a half-forgotten dream. You breathe in deep, regretting it immediately as you take in the overwhelming scent of flowers, and slowly sit up. Oh! Sieglind! I must have dozed off. Spirits, what are you doing, Lind? You can't laze about today. You look down at the open journal in front of you, slightly creased from where your head rested against the page. Thankfully, you didn't spill any ink. Ruining my dress today would be a disaster I could never live down. Hastily, you pick up your quill and resume penning your passage. That's all the preparations I've had to do. I've never been so busy in my life. I can only pray the tournament goes well. Please watch over Tristan. It would be so wonderful if he wins. Oh, his new armor is so beautiful. I just know he'll look so dashing. I wish you were here to see it too, Papa. I hope we both make you proud. Love, Lind. You give the ink a few moments to dry and then carefully tuck the journal away with a sigh. I should make my way to the Great Hall soon, but I don't want to. I can't remember the last time I had a moment to myself. You stretch out indulgently before you reluctantly rise from the cushioned chair in the solar. Surely I could afford a few more minutes. There's her favorite romance book. Your toast will continually update as you play as Lind. Try consulting it for more insight into characters, places, or relationships. Or don't. You're the one in command after all. Wait! An ornate dagger with a hilt carved with a raven and the sycamore leaves, it sits heavy in your pocket. Silver ring set with sapphires. You are Sieglind, but you are also Lind or Lin. Your reputation is... To the court, you're little more than a lamb in a den of lions. Your knights serve you out of duty. Personal loyalty, don't dream of it. Sir Tristan Greywall, your brother is the best, bravest, kindest, cleverest, and handsomest knight in the entire world. He's your half-brother, to be exact, but neither he nor your father have ever mentioned his mother. Papa, your late father Siegmund von Winter. He wasn't the warmest man, and was often too busy to spend time with you, leaving Tristan and Blank to look after you instead. It only made you strive all the more for his affection. The Sunless Sea, the place where Papa, Mama, and Snowflower have all gone to. The living light candles to guide departed spirits, but those who were wicked or burdened in life will never hope to cross its shores. Tales of such spirits and monstrous revenants are known as the Tales of the Mist. You know what they are. Stray spirits possessing iron flesh, fairy tales told to frighten children, and grown men. Blank would often tell you tales about them, but you didn't think they were true. Not until the war, when your brother fought and slew one himself. The House of Winter. Long ago, the North bowed to the King of Leaf. Though your house no longer produces sovereigns, your lineage commands a respect that few other bloodlines share. Your house's dual symbols are the raven and sycamore tree, commonly combined into one, with a bird in the shape of the leaf. Trees are a common symbol of the Northern House. Drawing from the old tales of the Mist, where the first revenant was slain by a simple arrow adorned in mistletoe. There are debates to this day about the kind of wood that made up said arrow. The Kingdom of Silver North and Golden South, Lifthrazir. During the Autumn Wars over 2 centuries ago, conflict ravaged the continent as the Astarian Empire fell. In the chaos, the warlords of Lif and the Dukes of Thrasir formed an alliance. It proved to be a powerful one. The armies of the North, provided for by the bounty of the South, fought off countless enemies and led to both parties' survival. The bond between the two hasn't always been unshakable, but nowadays to think of Lif without Thrasir would be to imagine an egg without a yolk. Okay, we're interesting analogy there. Ostara, the kingdom beyond the river, Asker and Lifthrasir's most enduring rival. They were once a great empire, but now only a shadow of their power remains. In Lifthrasir, no more than 1 in 10 knights might be called dame. You've heard that in Ostara, however, female knights are far more common and titled Ser, just like the men. You're baffled at how a kingdom that fills its armies with women can even function. We were thinking Tristan was a misogynist, but really, it was Sieglin the whole time. Oh, this is really helpful, actually. Okay, because every time I kept mentioning different things, I was like, what are they talking about? Gorget is the bit around the neck. Curious is this bit. Pauldron is the arm bit. Kota is the... I don't know what that is. Vambrace is the... this bit. Cusis is the thigh bit. Okay. Paulin's is the bit on the knee. Sabatons is the feet. Spurs is back. Greaves is just the leg bitties. Scabbard is where you put the sword in. Gauntlet is the hand bit. Bold. Armor panties. Coif is the... what's it called? It's the covering. I remember these bits from Kingdom Come Deliverance, because we would have all of these individual pieces that made up the armor, and it was always like too much. You got the hilt, pommel, crossguard, blade, fuller. I really should have looked up what swords and armors were made out of before I started drawing them, because I really had no idea what I was doing. My first step to drawing armor. No. That's fun. I like that they have that here. Oh, I'm so sad I didn't actually look at Tristram's one. Okay, let's save. Ooh. The room before you is spotless, save for the pile of correspondence heaped on the table that you can't help but skim through once more. Letters addressing you offer condolences or lavish praise, sometimes in the same sentence. Others entreat you to seek help from their writers, men who have played the games of lordship longer than you have been alive. You stifle a sigh. You can imagine the sneers punctuating each word, between concealed remarks about your inexperience or ineptitude, or both, are offers of introduction to noble sons. You ignore most of them. You, of course, outrank most of them. Instead, you reach for a letter marked with a singular seal in crimson wax, the sword and stag of Thrasser. You unfold the parchment and lay it flat. You've memorized the words at this point, but nonetheless look over it once more. My dear girl, I have enclosed what you requested along with the armor. Do let me know what Sir Tristan thinks of it, as I doubt he'd express it to me himself. As for Raymond, well, he's been enamored with your portrait since laying eyes on it. You may have heard of my son's abundant love for theatrics. It is my hope you won't mind indulging in his games on your day of games. Sincerely, Radinald Rex. Along with His Majesty's letter is a portrait of a young man with untamed hair and beard that remind you of a lion's mane. Raymond. Every lady in the realm knows that the prince has begun searching for a new bride. Every lady, including you. Why settle for a marchioness when you could be a princess? It's what your father would have wanted. Of course, that all depends on whether you, a so-called uncultured northern girl, can impress the famously prodigal prince. Your stomach twists in knots. Perhaps you should have studied singing and lute playing, as is a fashion in the South, rather than swordplay lessons you begged your brother to teach you. But he couldn't say no to me. I wanted to be just like him, and blank. How could he refuse? does she have to say about this book? It's a thumbed-through copy of Knights of the Rose, an epic novel about a female knight who goes on a dangerous quest to rescue her lover. You loved the story when you were young. You still remember the shock you felt when you learned it was inspired by none other than blank and your brother. What? And he was like, what a dumb story. Only a dummy would believe in a story like this. And it's based on him. Unlike Ostara with its brutish princess, Livthracia is a civilized kingdom of knights. Women have their own duties. Few attempt or can afford the rigorous path from squire to swordsman. That your own sister-in-law achieved such an honor was nothing short of noteworthy. A bittersweet feeling flickers through your heart, a strange mix of wistfulness and longing. Things have changed a good deal since the days when your brother could sneak you away to the castle town for festivals. Tristan has always been a constant fixture in your life. Blank, on the other hand, she always protected me. I loved her like a sister. I envied her as much as I admired her. I hated her. She stole my brother. I feel like there's a lot of admiration that she has for her. I feel like this is going to change like what kind of decisions we can make in the future. Let's go with I admired her. Whenever your brother took care of you, she was there as well. You liked her enough, but you didn't like sharing your ever-harried older brother with anybody else. On the surface, she was the closest thing you had to a mother, but in truth she was neither mature enough nor nurturing enough to resemble one to you. You can recall the many times she'd lose her patience and snap at you, though you can admit your own behavior was less than ladylike back then. Those days, you often pretended you were a knight as well. You dreamt of becoming a lady even more beautiful, brave, and refined than the Rose of Greywall ever was. Still, though, she captured the eye of plenty of counts and barons, a simple life wedded to a nameless knight. Your brother was all she desired. At least, that was true until... Until what? I haven't had time to read in ages, especially not some silly romance. Even so, seeing the cover makes you feel fondly nostalgic. Blank used to read to me when I was small. I always preferred her stories to Tristan's, even though she tried to scare me most of the time. He just wasn't good at doing the voices. Still, it was always your brother who carried you to bed and left a candle lit for you when some frightful tale left you trembling in the dark. He's always been there for me. Voices are hard, it's true. A large vase of lilies rests on the table, filling the room with a cloying scent that clings to your clothes. A cloying scent that clings to your clothes. You have read the flowers. Lilies, roses are gifts that one should present to the objects of his affections. These, however, came from no suitor. They were a decoration suggested by one of your stewards that you are already beginning to regret. The great houses of Leaf and Thrasser claim ancestry from warrior kings. Their crests draw upon the trees that tower proudly over the land as symbols of strength and wisdom. Not fragile and ephemeral flowers. Will everyone think me frivolous? But today is a day of celebration, and sometimes festivities require frivolities. After all, tree branches are hardly festive. It's true. Sunlight shines upon the room, leaving diamond-shaped shadows against a freshly laundered rug. You gaze outward at a blue sky streaked with thin white clouds. Thank the spirits the weather remained fair. I should die of embarrassment if it rained over the tournament. As you gaze out idly, your mind begins to wander. An endless sky means endless possibilities. The world outside looks so vast and lonesome. Positive mindset. When you were young, you dreamt of growing up and leaving the castle to see the world beyond. It seems that day has come sooner than you thought. Be brave, Lind. You are the head of the house. You can do this. Ooh. Okay, we are ready to go to the next scene, I think. Oh, there's a painting here that we need to look at. But I think I'm going to end it here. And the next time we do this, we can go more into Sieglin's story. Because this is all new to me. We never got to see anything of Sieglind. So I'm excited to do that. But I want to end early because I need to do a bunch of stuff today before work tomorrow. But thank you guys for joining today and just like listening and vibing. Because I know this is more just like literally reading a storybook, which I like doing. But oh my god, god damn it, I need to grind tomorrow before we do Drakengard 3. We're already on Route C. And I gotta be grinding so we can get close to Route D. I gotta upgrade all those weapons and it's gonna take forever. Alright guys. Good night. Farewell. We shall continue this next weekend, next Sunday. And bye-bye.